Hello, I'm Jerry Fort. Welcome to Jungle Jerry's Treehouse. I'm going to read a story about El Cucuy. I was watching the show I've been watching is Grimm, and they had an episode about El Cucuy. So, in this book, the monster book, Creatures, Beasts, and Fiends in Nature by Nick Redfern, there is a story about El Cucuy in here. Let's see what it says about him. Within the Lone Star State, there is a long tradition of a diabolical goblin-like monster known as El Cucuy. It is most recognizable by its penetrating and evil-looking eyes, which glow a devilish, malevolent red. Typically, they lurk in closets and beneath the beds of children. But does that mean they are nothing more than bogeyman type tales designed to excite and frighten kids? Maybe not. Very often there is some degree of truth behind a legend, a very strange truth, and that's certainly the case when it comes to El Cucuy. Just a few years ago, a resident of San Benito told researcher Guadalupe Cantu of his encounter with a small, haired-covered humanoid creature that he spotted crawling out of a dumpster in town late one night. Perhaps wisely, the man chose not to hang around and confront the mini monster. Then in 2006, what sounds very much like a winged version of El Cucuy popped up in the Texas town of Dickens, which is situated east of the city of Lubbock. The location was Highway 70 at a place known as Turkey Crossing. The witness in question was too traumatized to share the details outside of her family. However, the young woman's mother prepared a statement on her behalf, which in part read as follows. She noticed that there was something sitting on a wide gate post. She did not know what it was, so she slowed down to look. As she got closer, she saw a flesh-colored animal, about 3 feet tall, crouched on top of the post. It had a round head like an owl and a round sloped face with a tiny round nose, like a short snout and a slit for a mouth. It had eyes that looked like they were slanted down. The creature was sitting with its feet together and its knees out in a bow-legged squat. It had feet like a bird with a set of toes or talons in the back and another set in the front. It had short arms, the flap of triangular skin on the back sides. There was something pointed at the tips of the skin flaps that looked like a bat thumb or claw. It looked like it had paws with 4 digits on each one, and the arms were partly hidden underneath a flap of skin on each side. The skin or short fur was a tan or peach color, and it was wrinkled in places like a baby bat. Monster hunter Ken Gerhard, who has studied this particularly weird case, relates what happened next. As the eyewitness attempted to pass, the hideous goblin lurched off its perch and landed on the road, causing her to swerve. The little monstrosity crouched for a moment and then started to run on 2 legs, while the terrified girl sped off, apparently in tears as she drove home. There's a picture over here. It says, the 1799 painting Que Viene el Coco, Here Comes the Bogeyman, by Francisco Goya, portrays a version of the goblin El Cucuy. He's kind of got like a cape on or something. Can't see. I looked on the internet and I found this little thing. I'm just going to put it in here. I don't think it was tied to anybody, Google or any particular person. It said, El Cucuy is a scary Mexican urban legend about a creature that kidnaps children who don't behave. According to Mexican folklore, El Cucuy is a small, hideous, hairy creature with glowing red eyes. He has big ears like a bat and a mouth full of razor-sharp teeth like a barracuda. The legend has been passed down over the years by word of mouth, from mother to child. Mexican parents often warn their children, behave yourself, or El Cucuy will come and take you away. When night falls, El Cucuy comes. He hides in your closet or under your bed. He can take the shape of any dark shadow. He watches you silently and waits for his moment to pounce. Then he will take you away to his lair, deep in the mountains, and devour you. I grew up in a small town in Mexico. My mother used to tell me ghost stories when I was a child, but none of them scared me as much as El Cucuy. One day I was angry, and I cursed at my mother. She got very quiet, and she looked at me with fury burning in her eyes. Slowly and calmly, she said, El Cucuy te va a raspar los pies en la noche. Did I say that right? Which means El Cucuy is going to scratch your feet tonight. Something about the way she said it really scared me. That night I went to bed and it took me nearly 2 hours to fall asleep. The next morning when I woke up, I got out of bed and noticed that my feet were sore. I looked down and saw that both my feet had long red scratches on them. It truly terrified me because I didn't know if El Cucuy was real or if my mother was so crazy that she scratched at my feet while I was asleep to teach me a lesson. How could you not wake up from that? I mean, something could barely touch me and I'll wake up. I'm a pretty light sleeper when it comes to something touching me. Noises? I don't hear noises so often. I have my rain machine on, so I'm deep in a sleeping trance, but something touches me, my hand, I wake up real quick. Something touched my feet. Whoever's doing it is going to get kicked in the face. So that little kid, he must have been a real hard sleeper to not notice that either his mother or El Cucuy was scratching his feet up. Oh, man. Okay, well, there you go. There's that story. We'll highlight that one. All right, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Thanks for listening. This was a story from the monster book, Creatures, Beasts, and Fiends of Nature by Nick Redfern. See you on the next one.